This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America. Okay, welcome to everyone out there that's tuned in tonight to watch Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB. We're glad to have you. And boy, it's a special holiday, man. July the 4th here. Look at the fireworks behind us here. Hope you're flying your flag out there. I put ours out, so be sure and put your flag out if you hadn't done it yet. Oh, let's see. Hey, welcome all of our new people that are joining us in the chat room. If you're new to the show, I would like to just invite you to click up at the top up here, top menu for Facebook. Join us on our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called W5KUB. It's for the show. And of course, it tells you who's going to be on the show, and it's places you can post pictures. And Katie, a lot of times, will pull the pictures off there and we'll show your shack pictures on the show and so forth. So do that. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook there. Also, the show tonight is being simulcast, like every Tuesday night, on world-famous international shortwave station WBCQ out of Monticello, Maine. And I know we've got some listeners in England and some down in Costa Rica and other places that have reported to us that they listen to the show. If you're new and you're just tuning across the shortwave bands and you hear us, send us an email to tom@w5KUB, tom@w5kilouniformbravo.com, and give us a signal report. Let us know where you are, how you ran across us, and so forth. So people are asking, where's my co-pilot? I'm kind of flying alone here in the seat, no co-pilot, so I'm doing it alone tonight. Walter is back working. He's a pilot, and to fly that A300, he has to work every now and then. I think he's on about 2 weeks and off about 2 weeks. That's a tough job, man. Anyway, he'll probably be back with us next week. Let's see. Hey, tonight we're going to have an exciting show tonight. Boy, we've got the miracle segment coming up first in just a minute. We're going to have Hambot here tonight. Hambot is in the studio, and Hambot is going to be giving out, guess what? I think you already figured it out. Hambot's going to be giving out a 7-function digital multimeter to somebody in a chat room. And if Hambot calls your name and you answer, you're going to get this digital multimeter here. All right, let's see what else should I talk about here? And of course, we got Dave Casler on the side out there. I'll have to connect with him later. And Joe Eisenberg, he's going to be bringing some neat stuff to us. So, guys, I want to introduce you to somebody I just recently met. Let me bring him into the show here. And let's see. There we go. This worked out pretty good. So this is, let me get your name up here, Tim. There we go. I think I got it spelled right. Tim Bukuris.
Perfect.
Is that right? Tim Bukuris. AC3CT is joining us today, guys. And this is our miracle segment. This is our miracle segment tonight. And doesn't this guy look good? I mean, look, he's smiling. He's sitting upright. He's looking good. Man, he looks strong. And looks like nothing in the world's happened to him. But I want to show you guys something, and then we're going to talk about it, Tim. Let me get down here to a couple pictures I've got. Guys, let me show you something. We're going to talk a little about some of the dangers of ham radio. This is not a hobby that you can't get a little damaged every now and then. Also, hey, I'll tell you right now, this comes with a warning. If you've got a weak stomach, and take your kids away right now, change the channels, okay? So here's what we're going to talk about, and boy, I'll tell you what. Hey, Tim, why don't you jump in here and you can just describe what I'm showing here. Here's the first picture.
So this is an x-ray of my skull from Saturday. And what you see is the head of an arrow embedded in my skull into my right sinus.
Now, hey, Tim, this accident just happened Saturday. Today is Tuesday. We're talking, Saturday, 3 days ago.
Yep, 3 days, about 3 days and 4 hours ago, to be exact.
Wow. Yeah, and how many minutes? If this happened to me, I think I would know that too.
And a minute. It was
Wow.
5:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when
Well,
I caught an arrow to the face.
the X-ray does not show it doesn't show the whole picture here. Let me go to this picture here, and that's a little bit better picture right there of you, man. I mean, hey, that's probably gonna make all the newspapers across the country.
Well, I hope not. But that's inside the trauma center at Christiana Hospital in Delaware.
Yeah.
That is the shaft of the arrow protruding from my sinus cavity. So,
Well,
and a couple EKG leads on my chest.
I guess if there's anything good about this, it probably cleared your sinuses out.
You know, I never had sinus problems before, and I hope that I don't have them after. But
Yeah. Well, let's see. And here's a little bit different angle shot right there. You know, this is pretty quick into them seeing you, so they haven't taken it out yet. And of course, if this happens,
here they cut half the arrow off so they could put my head into a CT scan and figure out how far in the arrow was and what was damaged or not damaged and how to remove it. But my wife calls this the Pinocchio picture.
I think what people need to realize and remember or know is if something like that gets in, you don't pull it out. You could cause more damage cutting an artery or something, if you take it out.
Absolutely. So first rule of impalement, if it's impaled, it stays there and you let the trauma surgeons do what they get paid to do.
So you called you called the ambulance, and I think you said your son was with you. Your 22-year-old son was with you. Who took it the worst? Did you take it worse, or did he take it worse?
He took it the worst. So my background, I'm a former Navy corpsman, EMT, 25 years in law enforcement. So I've seen things, but he hasn't. He doesn't have that kind of life experience. I knew not to, once you're impaled on something, not to try and remove it because you will do more damage. And it was a 1/4 inch away from an artery in my brain, feeding my brain. And had I jerked it the wrong way, I could have damn well killed myself.
Well,
so.
It looked pretty centered there, right off the nose there. I mean, it was close to, just center, man. Your spine's back there where your brain connects to everything.
An unlucky pull from the tree. So, yep. So the story is I'm trying to hang an antenna.
Yeah.
And it was great. I got the bow across. I have the compound bow. I have the fishing line, the monofilament tied behind the head of the antenna. It's screwed into the shaft. I get the arrow up about 80 feet over a branch, but I'm shooting for a 110-foot branch. So instead of letting the antenna just go down over the other side, cutting it and redoing it again, I thought I'd just pull back on the antenna on the fishing line, and the branch itself acted like a bow. A little kinetic energy there. There was a release. And the arrow did what it's designed to do. It followed the monofilament back to where I was pulling it from. And within an instant, it was embedded in my skull. So, somebody just put, what a lucky man. I'm an extremely lucky and blessed man. And
there's a comment here to call a suicide squad. I never heard anybody, commit suicide with a bow like that. But, hey, my experience with something like a slingshot or something, if I put a weight over a limb, usually it's very difficult to pull back because, the limb will hang it, and usually we let it all the way down and just break the weight off and pull the line back.
Which is what I should have done. Agreed.
It's amazing. It's amazing though.
2020.
It's amazing that the arrow came back over that limb somehow. It just doesn't seem normal that it would do that.
It doesn't, but that's why they're called freak accidents.
Yeah.
And, it happened. So today I got my drone fixed and I flew the antenna wire over with my drone. And so now I have it in place with my drone.
Wow, that is some story, I tell you. And you're our miracle guy for this year. You're the yearly miracle guy on our show. We don't have too many miracles like this. But ham radio is a pretty safe hobby. But I mean, accidents can occur. You know, we deal with a lot of things. We deal with heights and electricity, and there's all kinds of things that, you know, can go wrong, and people do get hurt. People do get killed. And, you know, there was a video a while back that we had out there that a guy was putting up a tower, and he was up pretty high, and he was using all the safety harnesses and extra hooks and everything. And one of the guy wires broke, and the whole tower came down with him. Even with him, you know, he didn't fall, but the whole tower came down with him. And that's the kind of things you don't expect, but that's the kind of things that can happen, you know.
Yeah, it's sad. So yeah, the drone worked. I have it. I have the antenna up. It's a G5RV. It's about 50% done. Got a lightning storm here, so I didn't want to be the next Miracle Tale guy who survived getting struck by lightning. So
you would not want to go to the emergency room twice in the same week, you know.
So I took the better part of valor is to know when to quit. So it can wait till tomorrow for me to hoist it the rest of the way up.
Yeah.
And, I don't want my sons to come find me, you know, baking in the backyard. It was bad enough to find the arrow, but all's well that ends well. I honestly say it was a great idea until it wasn't, if that makes any sense. Yeah. It really worked well until it didn't. So.
Well, I want to tell you something. For something like that to happen, and you were really lucky, but for even to me, that looks fairly serious. And for you're looking happy, you're setting up, you got energy. I mean, it looks like, looking at you here with the camera, I can't even tell. I see a little dark spot there, but who knows? That could be, yeah, I see it there, yeah.
That's it.
You know, you look good.
Thank you. I have rugged good looks now. And like I said to my kids, if God wanted me to have a piercing, I'd have one. So here you go. Because that's the only piercing I have.
Oh, Tim, what a story. Hey, man, thanks so much for sharing with us so soon after the accident.
Well, 73s to everyone, and a lot of people sent me some well wishes, and I really appreciate it. And I've only been doing this hobby for about a month, so maybe I got the worst behind me.
Hey, that's true. I forgot to mention, you only got your license a little over maybe a month and a half ago. Have you operated any, or were you just getting the antenna?
So I've done, so you found out about me through Echolink, so I've done that. I have DMR, I have analog, 2 meter and 70 centimeter. I have my HF behind me. I don't know if you can see it behind me. I have an HF rig over there. It's an FT990. I've done some work on that when the G5RV was in place the first time. And I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I went right to extra because I waited long enough. I waited 53 years. So I sat and took all 3 tests and crossed my fingers, and I made it. So I'm here.
Well, that's great. Looks like you're a fighter, and you get that test. And man, you're a extra class ham radio operator now. Have fun with the hobby. Don't get discouraged because an arrow goes through your face.
Yeah, never let that keep you down.
That's right.
Keep you down.
Hey, Tim,
right, well, thanks
so much for joining the show. If you want to watch the rest of the show, we've got several things coming up tonight. And hey, this may be your lucky day. You know, if let me tell you, you're new to the show. Hey, if Hambot after a while calls your name and says, "Tim, are you here?" and you say yes, you're going to win this 7-function digital multimeter here. So, Tim, you got to be in the chat room, and Tim's in the chat room. Thanks a lot, man, and I really appreciate you coming on here with us.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, 73.
73.
Man, what a story. What a story that was. Now let's see if I can let me get Dave and Joe back on here. We were having trouble. Tim was running a different version of Skype, and it wasn't letting us add anybody on the call. So we're going to bring Dave and Joe in here. All right. Hey, Dave, how you doing, man?
Well, greetings.
Let me get Joe in here. Let me get Joe. Let's see, add people. Looks like him, add to call. Okay. So Dave, did you see that? Did you watch part of that? What do you think, man?
Oh, yeah, I watched that and I looked at the pictures, and he's got a story for his grandchildren, I tell you.
Man, I mean, some story, I mean, wow. I mean, I still got goosebumps just thinking about it, man.
Well,
Whoa.
he was very fortunate. That could have come down through an eye,
Yeah.
or done some serious damage if it hit him in the neck or something.
Oh, yeah.
I assume he was looking up at it when it came down. So he's a veteran now, veteran ham. He's got the scars to prove it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, Dave, let's talk about something. You're doing something a little new. You want to, you may run this little short video first, then you talk about it, or you want to kind of introduce into the video, and I'll show it.
Let me introduce this. There's a fellow I know, a young fellow who's a third-year film student at BYU, and I was getting to the point where I just could not handle all the questions that come my way. And so we put two and two together, and the fellow's name is Trevor Ullman, and you'll see this little video. He has most of his experience doing things behind the camera and not in front, so he's still kind of unfreezing from being in front of the camera, but he's doing good. He's a keeper.
Well, that's
So
great.
I'll let you show that video clip.
Okay, I'll run that. Here we go.
Greetings, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with Trevor Ullman, our Ask Dave editor, and we're going to go through some Ask Dave questions. What's the general subject today, Trevor?
General subject today is making some connections that people are having trouble with.
Okay, well, let's see what we've got.
All right, so Will asks a question about whether or not a wind turbine is a good idea for him.
Well, he likes my solar setup, and I've got a new solar panel I just got, and I was building a battery box today, and when I get all that finished, I'll make a little video about that. Have I given any consideration to wind turbine? The problem with the wind is normally the wind is highly seasonal and blows generally in March and April, and that's about it. Otherwise, we have very little wind here, and even the wind we get in March and April is very gusty, followed by periods of calm. So it would not be economic to put up a wind turbine of those bands. Well, that concludes another session. Thank you, Trevor. And we'll be working on more of these as we go. Trevor mentioned that people are feeling very free to write in with questions, and that's great. Remember, you can pose your question at hamradioanswers@gmail.com. That's hamradioanswers@gmail.com.
Okay, so Dave, that's kind of a intro to your new format there. Tell us why you did it and what you're doing, and again, talk to us a little more about Trevor.
Well, Trevor's going to be going into his third year, so he's halfway through his college education. He's 22, and he's at Brigham Young University, and they have a pretty big film school there, and they have their own television channel and everything. In fact, it's on most cable networks. And so he's trying to learn that industry. And boy, I tell you, that industry is moving fast. It's like hopping on a freight train. Things are moving so fast. But he's a lifeguard this summer. I says, how would you like to do something a little more interesting? How about interning with me, and you can do stuff that you're used to? And what's nice about it is I can speak to him using video jargon, and he understands exactly what I'm talking about. Like I told him that I kind of wanted the photos to move a little bit, and I just said Ken Burns effect, and he knew exactly what that meant, and did it just absolutely beautifully. What happens is I've set up another Gmail account called hamradioanswers@gmail.com. And I've got it set up so that he answers that. And all of those go to him. He prints them, and then he collates them by ones that he think go together. And then he comes over here, and we do usually 3 or 4 episodes all in one sitting. And I've got about 6 or 7 of them here ready to go. They'll be rolling out one a week and through the rest of the summer. And then when he goes back to school, I think what I'm going to do is just set up a live feed on Saturdays and go through all the questions for that week. And that'd be a lot easier than trying to sit here and type answers to all of them. He's great. He can take anything and edit it and get it just the way I want it. And he's made great suggestions, and it's good having him on board. Of course, we keep teasing him about not having his license yet. I did give him a technician book, so hopefully he'll read that. There's an active amateur radio club at BYU, which is where I got my novice license, and so hopefully he'll pick up on that and do something there. So it's been a great experience having him helping me out, and he's starting to unbend for the camera now a little bit. I think he was really afraid of it at first.
Yeah.
You'd think a film student would be, used to being in front of the camera, but he's not. So, yeah, having good fun.
Well, that's great. Now, you said they have a TV station at the college. Is that where he works? Some?
Yeah, it's KBYU TV, and it's on both Dish and whatever the other one is, the Hughes thing.
Direct TV.
Direct TV. You'll find it under the religion programmings because BYU is sponsored by the Mormon Church. But they've got television all the time, and all of their sitcoms and everything are perfectly G-rated. And so their shows are kind of popular. And the students put them together. They do, a few television series. They've got their own version of a Saturday Night Live, except it's done by students, and it's got a complete G rating. But in any event, Trevor is a great guy, happy to have him. And I did, and they arrived about 5 minutes ago. I have an OG shirt for Trevor now.
Well, that's cool. Somebody was asking on the chat room, where do they get an OG shirt?
Oh, yes, he's going to get his OG shirt next time we get together.
Yeah, but they're asking in the chat room. Somebody in the chat room wants to know where they can get one.
Where they can get one?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't started selling them yet. Google is, or rather YouTube is coming up with a way to do merchandise right on the channel, so I'll have to look into that. But they were a little expensive to make because they had to pay the setup fee for them. But otherwise, they're like somewhere between $15 and $20 a piece. They're nice polo shirts.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, hopefully by bringing in Trevor, you'll be able to, get a lot more stuff done and get more answers out, and that's going to be cool.
Oh, it feels great. I've got more time to devote to my regular videos now. And because I was spending like 2 days a week going through my email. And, I want to answer every question. I want to answer everybody's question, but it just got to the point where it was impossible. In fact, I just got that Dragon Naturally Speaking dictation software, so I can dictate responses to comments on YouTube, because my hands, as I get older, my typing ability is going downhill. So hopefully I'll be able to speak for a long time, and that's what I'm doing for that. It's I guess a price to pay with the channel showing success. I just went over 37,000 subscribers this past week. So I'm excited with the channel growth. I grow about 1,000 subscribers a month.
That's great.
So
That's great. Well, all right. Well, Dave, we've got Hambot standing by. We're going to give away a prize, and then Joe, I know you're itching to talk. Joe, can you wait till Hambot does his thing, Joe?
Sure, but let's have Dave show his 2P3 because I'll be showing what it looks like inside.
Okay.
okay. Let me get back to Skype. All right. I'll have it in hand. Got it in hand for when you're ready.
You're on. You want to show it now? Is that what you want him to
Yeah.
do, Joe?
Yep, show it now, and then we'll,
And then we'll come back to it.
yep, because this is what it looks like before it's built.
Yeah, let me open it up here so you can see I've still got the plastic on it. I've taken it out and explored a little bit.
So is that
But
the
you get a
original?
very nice-
Is that the,
very
like the original
well-organized
1960 something packing?
No, it's a replica.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a replica, and they've got all the parts in here, and the instruction manual for it is in color.
Oh, that's cool.
And
It looks like a big road map.
Fold out, yeah. It's really big and got the whole schematic for it and everything. It's a really nice, well-produced package. You can tell that the people who wrote it are close to being native quality English speakers, because it's got better text in it than I've seen in a lot of Chinese manuals.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty bad in some of the things.
The manual is huge. I've never seen one that folds out that big before in all the kits I've built. It is, like I said, it's like an old highway road map.
All right, well, guys, let's take a quick break here, and then Joe will come back, and we'll talk about your kits and stuff, okay? Just everybody just stand by with us a minute, and we'll be right back. Hey, Hambot's coming up next, everybody. Just get ready for Hambot. It's time to get the transceiver that's best suited for your lifestyle. ICOM offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. See how you can make the most out of contest season with one of these transceivers. The competitive edge you've been looking for is in the IC7851. Raise the bar and hear what others cannot hear with this flagship HF 50 MHz transceiver. It has reciprocal mixing dynamic range, crystal clear local oscillator, spectrum scope, dual receivers, and a digital voice recorder. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants, and just in time for contesting season. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new ICOM 7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has direct RF sampling, 110 dB RMDR, an independent dual receiver, and dual digital select. The IC7300 has changed the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. It has RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and an SD memory card slot. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. All right, guys, we're back. And I want to just briefly, because we've got new people in here that probably never saw Hambot. Hambot travels with us. Hambot is a internal program that one of our admins developed. It's quite extensive. He does a lot of things. Hambot is going to pick a name here out of the chat room and ask you if you want this prize. And he will count down from 60 to 0, and you have to answer yes, I want it, or just answer yes, or I'm here. Now, if you don't respond by the time Hambot says, sorry, time's up, you don't get the prize. And the reason we have Hambot is because I used to do the timing and everybody would argue with me, well, they were a little late, but yeah, and I was easy. You can't argue with Hambot. So here are the rules. Try to be, don't type too much. Just kind of be real quiet in the chat room during Hambot. Watch for your name to be called. If your name's called, just say, yes, I'm here, or whatever, and you'll be the winner, and we'll ship this out to you. So is Hambot about ready over there? Yeah. All right, let me run Hambot here so people can see what Hambot looks like. All right, so there's Hambot right there. Now Hambot is ready, so Hambot, go ahead at your free will. Watch the chat room, everybody, and Hambot's going to be looking for you. If I give a call or a timeout on video, that does not count. The official time is the chat room, because the chat room is not synchronized with the video. It's about 20 seconds later. So it's looking for W5 PPD, Eli. This is a 7-function meter, a digital meter. Hambot says you got 45 seconds left. Let's see if old Eli answers here. Sometimes you wonder, sometimes we'll give away a $600 prize, like a D-Star radio, and it'll take 7 times to go through and find a winner, 30 seconds. Now, by the time you hear this, 30 seconds already over. Remember, the chat room is official time. I would think. Okay, sorry, W5PPD, you did not respond in time, so Hambot's going to draw another name, and here he goes. Looks like we're looking for W5, NED, Neil. Looking for W5, NED, Neil. Guys, this is free. Digital, 7-function digital multimeter.
There he is.
Okay, we got a winner. Neil says he is here. I'd love the multimeter. Okay, W5 NED, Neil, a 1. And we'll put this in a package and try to get it out of here tomorrow to you. I'll let you take a real close look at it there if you can. There you go. Hey man, this thing I do here, this thing does a lot, man. It's, hey, 3.5 digit LCD, low battery indicator, over range. Hey, it tests transistors, diodes, AC, DC voltage, current. It'll do everything, man. All right, congratulations. We'll get that out to you. All right, let's see. Let's go back over to our remote host tonight. See what's going on there. So let's go back to Dave and Joe. Hey, Joe, what have you been up to, Joe?
Oh, lots of things. But this time of year is pretty good for it here in Nebraska. It's hot and humid, so it's a good chance to hide out in the basement and put together a few kits. This one we're going to talk about here. We're going to take a better look at the two that I showed last time. I kind of did a quick overview of this one, which is the Marania, which is the new kit by 4State QRP. And I think if you look at their website, it may be even offered now. I think they just finished kitting the regular run. You turn it on and the light comes on, and I don't know if you can hear anything.
I hear it.
Herrera trying for his second stolen base is shot down.
So you can hear the Kansas City Royals losing another game.
Oh man!
I mean that's what we get here. They're the closest, and so let's take a look. I need to. Let's see here. This is going to be interesting because I kind of messed up my screen here. So to share, I'm going to have to do this.
You're an IT guy. You'll figure it out. Oh, hey, there's your password. Oh, okay.
There
Joe,
we go.
Joe 123. I got you. No, wait.
Here we go.
You're using password for password. That's pretty cool, man.
All right. So now let's take a look here, and we'll full screen this. And this is the Marania kit when I sorted out the parts. As you can see, it has a pretty large speaker in it. And the circuit board material wasn't all broken apart yet. And it is printed circuit board material that makes up the case. And you'll see these little spots here where there's patches on it, and that's how we solder it together. We actually kind of solder corners together, and that's how we make the case. So you get a very strong case. Now, obviously, this one is all etched out except for those tiny little pads. On other receivers, we leave the surface intact. This is a look at the inside of the front panel. And the reason I wanted to bring this to your attention is it has all the part numbers in the speaker grill here. Of course, this is not visible when you have the front panel on. Let me see here. I don't know why it's jumping back like that. But what you're looking at is you'll see, like, it'll say R1 100K brown, black, yellow. So it tells you the color code and so forth for that part. So you know that R1 goes there. So without even looking at the directions, you can put most of the parts on the board. You'll notice that the parts do not solder through the board. They solder to these pads. And the reason we do that is for first-time kit builders, this is a lot easier because to desolder, all you have to do is heat it up with your soldering tip and then tuck it under the wire, and you can lift it right off the board and leave the blob of solder there to reuse when you put the correct part there or whatever you want to do. So for repair or modification or putting the parts where they really belong, this is a great system of construction. We call it Pittsburgh construction, and it's named for Joe, and I can't remember his call, who's from Pittsburgh, Kansas, who came up with this idea for the 4-state kits. And it really, really works well. So a lot of our kits that are aimed at beginning kit builders use this style of construction. So, Tom, have you ever tried a kit like that solders to pads?
Yeah, I've built. Well, you know, I haven't done too many kits that came like that, but of course that's a kind of a common practice, just a home brewing sometimes.
Exactly. A lot of people call that Manhattan style, where you put pieces of circuit board on top of a circuit board plane, so you make an insulated pad. This just does it built onto the circuit board itself.
Yeah.
So let's take a look here. This is inside the 2P3 radio that he just showed. This is what it looks like when it's all put together. So Dale, now you know what you got to look forward to when you get it done.
There's a lot in there.
What?
There's a lot in there, actually.
It's not as simple a kit as the Marania, but it's a much higher performing radio, I think. It's a lot of fun to put together. The only difference that they did between this and the 1960s designs is over here on the right, they use a SIP type integrated circuit that's just got pins on one side, and that is the audio output, as opposed to two push-pull NPN or PNP transistors to do the audio amplification. But look at the size. Well, I don't know why I did that again. Look at the size of the loop stick, and it's the same size loop stick as in the Marania. The Marania is a regenerative type receiver. This is a super het, but it uses the same size of loop stick, so it makes it quite sensitive. It really hears a lot, but it only runs on 2 AA's, so it only takes 3 volts to run it. So that's what the 2P3 looks like on the inside, and that's a better look of what it looks like from the front. A classic 60s style pocket AM radio. And to tell you the truth, I'm thinking of putting it in my shirt pocket to take to the next football game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look at this. This was a flea market buy from a year or so ago. It was a Fluke 79 Series 2. And as you can see, the displays are faded out or gone, and part of the bar graph meter on the bottom wouldn't light up at all. And it looked physically to be in great shape. And I thought, well, it wasn't dropped or anything. And the guy was offering it for only $20. And I thought, well, I might be able to do something to this. Maybe I can find a display. Well, it turns out you can't really find those displays anymore, but that's not what the problem is. The problem is there's this rubbery thing in there that connects the LCD to the board so that it's kind of cushions it, but it's a conductive rubber thing that has these tiny little conductors within this rubber pad that connects between the glass display and the circuit board. And so I did a little research, and I discovered that you can get a kit for $20, and it comes with the elastomer pads, which are kind of expensive. And it comes with a couple of these alcohol wipes like you would use for diabetic or other medical purposes that you use to clean the contacts on the circuit board from the residue left over from the old bad elastomers, and on the real kind of fragile glass display. So this is what it looks like when it was all taken apart. As you can see, there's only 4 screws that holds together a fluke meter. Just 4 screws. And you can tell how rugged these darn meters are made. Look at the sizes of the fuses inside on that board. They do make fluke meters to last. Unfortunately, this one part doesn't. So you can see the 2 old pink elastomers in there. And what it is it's kind of a sandwich of flexible conductors in between 2 rubber pads. And you can see the LCD is off above the meter. So you can see this is what a fluke meter looks like inside. It's pretty simple, actually, but I love my flukes. I think they're about the best. This is a close-up of what it looks like with the new elastomer in place. And unfortunately, online, I don't think you can see the tiny little conductors that are on those, the conductive edges. And this is after I had cleaned the circuit board below it and then put the plastic frame back in that holds the elastomers in place and forms a cradle to put that thin glass display piece on it. Now this is the finished product, and the meter is ready to work. And you can see the display looks nice and clear, doesn't it?
It does.
So that's the Fluke 79 Series 2. And like I said, if you come across one in a flea market that has looks like a flaky display, as long as it's not broken, chances are it might be this elastomer problem. And you can look on eBay. I don't have a specific link for it, but if you go on eBay and you look for like Fluke like 81 or Fluke 77 or Fluke 79 repair kit, you'll find it, and it's just $20 for the kit. And it's well worth it because now I have a well-functioning meter that'll last for years to come. Now let's see here. We're ready to do field day. How's that?
Yeah.
All right. On the left is a reporter from local Channel 8 television, and he's holding the 2 wireless mics, getting ready to set up the interview with our club president, and that's Ed, K0RPT. He's not only our president, he is our section emergency coordinator and county emergency coordinator, and he also maintains all the club repeaters. And we measure our repeater downtime in minutes per year, not hours or days. He does a wonderful job keeping our repeaters on the air. In fact, that's him taking my spot for a while on 20-meter sideband. The club has Yaesu 1200s. We have a pair of those. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip my 7300 in there so I can have my full headset mic and foot pedal so I can go a little bit faster on the contacts. I only made about 570 contacts, but a lot of the time we were sharing the 20-meter antenna with the GATA station and so forth. So I wasn't doing an all-out kill the contest kind of an operation. This trailer, which housed the 40-meter and 20-meter stations, is the old one that belongs to the County Emergency Management Agency, and it's seen better days. It does need a lot of work in there. The floor is starting to bow in a little bit, so we're hoping that we'll either get some repairs done to this or a different trailer soon. If you look in the hatch on the left, and I don't know that I have a picture of that, there's a triplexer and then 3 bandpass filters. And this allows us to take the TH3 and put out 10, 15, and 20 meters to 3 separate radios at the same time. That's something that's a technique that's used in a lot of contest stations. And pretty amazing. I had never tried that before, and it pretty much eliminates the problem of the guy on 15 tearing you up on 20 and vice versa, because it filters it out, yet you're all using the same antenna. I think that's pretty amazing. This is the 6-meter antenna, and you can see there is no rotator on it. They use the Armstrong method, that cord that's tied to the back of the beam. 6 meters, I think, was kind of the beer drinker's tent or whatever until Sunday morning, and I think we worked over 130 stations on 6 meters. So if you heard on field day King Kong's Vampires, Kilo Zero, King Kong's Vampires, that was us, and that was probably me if you were on 20-meter sideband. This is the 6-meter tent as they were getting busy on Sunday morning. Like I said, the band wasn't really good on Saturday, but boy, was it open on Sunday, and we got signals from all directions. This is our GATA station. That is Lydia at work on a Kenwood 450 doing the GATA duties. A field day runs on its stomach, and you can't go to a ham field day without brats or hot dogs and burgers on the grill. That's pretty staple of Nebraska field day. And we had a nice picnic pavilion that we used for cooking. And of course, everybody brought all the goodies to keep us well fed all weekend long.
Joe, I don't know why, but every night on this show, I start getting hungry.
Well, this is the CW trailer. It's a little tent trailer that was quite a ways away from the others, so we got enough isolation. And he was mostly on 40-meter CW. And the guy on the couch that you can't see completely in this picture is actually blind, and he was, for at least half of the time over the weekend, he was our CW operator, and the other guy logged for him. And I'm jealous of the radio, though. He has, you'll notice, a ICOM 7610, and this was the first time using it on field day, and it absolutely performed great. And now, for some reason, my mouse is stuck, and I don't know why. So this is interesting. I don't know why my machine is locked up.
Your mouse battery run out of juice?
I don't know.
Well,
let me see here.
Well,
let me see if
I can.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'm using the arrow buttons. This is our beam. This is the TH3. The tower belongs to emergency management. It's on a generator trailer. And this particular telescoping mast uses compressed air. So we just hook up an air compressor to the generator, and then we poke the thing onto the air spigot, and we raise it up, and then we just open the valve to lower it. I think I know what's wrong. I think my mouse is just died on me. The light is not on. And this is what it looks like at night. This is field day at night. We had a lighting tower that had a separate generator. And
That's cool.
the park where this is held is called Mahoney Park and is literally behind my house. I live about 2/10 of a mile to the west of where the field day site is.
Hmm.
And this is what our Gata station looked like. And we had a nice big banner, and we had lots of visitors come by. Breakfast time on Sunday morning, you can't have field day without breakfast, and the pancakes and eggs and sausages and all sorts of stuff was being cooked up.
Hmm.
The guy in the foreground here is Mayor Chris Beitler. He has been mayor of Lincoln for, I think, 11 years, and I think he's running for re-election again. And for the first time, he has come out to field day, and he wanted to see how we operated because David Saber, I mean, his name is David Saber, is our county emergency management director, and he told him how much volunteer work we do. And so the mayor made it a point to come out and see what field day is all about. This is the 6-meter station. You can see they're no longer drinking beer. They are having a great time because the band is open and they're rocking and rolling. And that is it. And I can't escape out. So,
I can bring you back.
yeah.
Watch
yeah,
this.
you're going to have
Watch
to bring
this.
me back.
Watch this. Bang. How you like that?
That works great. So, unfortunately, my mouse is popped out, so I'm going to have to see if I can figure out a way to get it back working. Tom, back to you.
All right. Well, Joe, that was great. Enjoyed seeing all the pictures there. And again, boy, every time, man, you know, these Hamfests, they have a lot of good, I mean, the field day, they have a lot of good food out there. And makes me hungry just looking at it, Joe. Did you have breakfast with them out there? Was breakfast pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had dinner and I had breakfast at the field day site. The nice thing for me was instead of pitching a tent or something or using a trailer, I just went home. I could walk or take the car around. It wasn't very far.
All right. Well, Joe, thanks a lot for showing all that to us tonight. We really appreciate it. And Dave, you got anything else you want to talk about tonight?
No, I'm enjoying looking at that food too. I especially saw that plate of chocolate chip cookies there.
We may have to end the show early so we can just go get some food. This is not helping my diet any, but oh well. You know, Dave, that's the reason I diet, so I can eat a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a pretty strong correlation between dieting and gaining weight.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, let me make a couple announcements here real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and open Hangout. This will be kind of a first. We're going to open Hangout a little early tonight. Hey, I want to tell you again. You know, I told you last week about Ferry. Ferry, PD8 FER, was walking his dog last week, and all of a sudden he wakes up, I think, in a hospital or in an ambulance, and Ferry had a stroke and didn't know it. And he was in a hospital a number of days, and he thought things were looking up. They sent him home, and when he got home, he found that his home was burglarized, and they stole all of his test equipment, all of his electronics, and all his computers. So he's kind of in hurting shape. He does have some insurance, but the Euro insurance doesn't pay much. I'm going to post a link here. Ferry does have a GoFundMe site he's set up, and if anybody would care to help Ferry, there's a link right there. If you got $5, $10, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Anything that you can do will help him to try to recover from both, the health issue and also the burglary issue. So I'm sure he didn't feel good when he got home, and then to see everything like it missing probably wasn't great either. But we wish Ferry the best there. All right. So, quickly, if you just tuned in, click on the Facebook link up at the top. Join us on Facebook. We got about 6,800 people in our group now that follows the webcast. And it's just a neat place to talk ham radio and post your shack pictures in there, or other neat pictures in there. Katie will be showing them. I think Katie's going to be back with us next week. Also, Riley Hollingsworth from the FCC will be back next week answering questions. Martin Jew would have been with us tonight, but he had to take someone to dinner. So I don't know. What?
Food again.
Food again. Look at there. Food again. So anyway, we'll have Martin back maybe probably next week too. So we'll have a full house here next week, and we'll have fun there. Hey, today is the day before July the 4th. Everybody celebrate July 4th. Be safe. Put your flag out. We put ours out today. And let's see. Let me put my July 4th background. There we go. Yeah. We got to make it look like July 4th. So we'll do that right there. Let's see, what else? There's something else I was going to tell you. Oh, coming up, future shows here. I know Riley will be answering some questions next week. We don't know exactly what other things we'll be doing. The week after that, I'm going to have a pretty good amount of time, a special on the Pocket RX TX. That's the Android application for a remote base, and this thing is working beautiful, man, beautiful. And I played with it today, and it's just like, hey, you get you a little cheap $40 tablet, and you got a remote base right there, all bands. You can do anything on the radio that you can do if you were at the radio. We're going to do a show on that in a couple weeks. I'm also going to talk about some satellite stuff. I was deep into satellite work a number of years ago. I haven't been lately, but Walter and I are building up my azimuth elevation antenna system out there. So we're going to show a little clip from the shop where we're building a mount and mounting the azimuth elevation antennas. So that'll be kind of cool to have on there. And I think we might have, I've got some video that I'm going to show that you haven't seen yet, but it's coming from MFJ. It's going to actually come out of Martin's office. We have a discussion on a lot of the old radios in Martin's office there, and the vintage radios. And this has not been shown before, so that'll be good. So that's coming up here too. What, 3 weeks away? I think we're going to have Huntsville on here with us. Then we'll only be about a month away from the Huntsville Hamfest, and I'm going. Joe's going. Joe, I'm going to win I'm going to win more prizes than you this year. Do you know that, Joe? Joe must have muted his mic.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah, he muted his mic. So.
Okay, yeah, I apparently muted the mic while I was swearing at the mouse. I had 2 AA batteries, got it fixed.
Yeah, okay, cool. So Joe, I'm going to challenge you at Dayton. I mean, at Huntsville this year. I'm going to win more prizes than you this year.
Oh no. I got. I gave you a free shot last year.
Well,
so
you know what? Last year I didn't win a single thing.
Really?
Yeah, and you weren't there. So see, that didn't help any. Last year I didn't win anything.
I can't believe you didn't win a thing.
No, nothing, man. No, it was zilch. It was zero, man. So anyway, we're going to try again this year. It's going to be kind of good. But hey, guys, every time Joe goes down here, he cleans the place. He has to go to Walmart and buy suitcases to take his prizes home. That's how bad it really gets with Joe.
Yeah, ask John KB2 ERJ about that.
And we're gonna just shut John down this year. We're gonna, he mentioned John. We're gonna shut down Joe this year. We're gonna take more prizes than you. Now they might not. Look, let's just set a challenge right now. When you add them up, it might not be total value more than you, but I'm just gonna say we're gonna win more prizes than you. Okay?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So hey, we'll have two.
It'll be fun. Like I said, I really missed being there last year because of the eclipse, but I couldn't miss a total eclipse here at home, and I'm really looking forward to coming down to the world's friendliest ham fest. I looked online yesterday, and I think they had like 16 flea market stalls open, and keeps kind of juggling up and down, but they'll be sold out, I'm sure, before.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know about the commercial exhibitors because for some reason they don't update that page as often, and I wish they would. They still have 2017 forums and dealer information on it, so hopefully they'll get that updated soon because we're really only about 6 weeks away.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're looking forward to it, and we're going to be in the same place I think this year as we normally are, Joe. But we're gonna spiffy it up. We're going to have curtains and side curtains and banner. We're going to have so much stuff in here. We're going to make it look so professional, man. And you know what? I've been thinking about getting the band back together. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, go to
we should show the YouTube.
Let's see. Hey, wait. You know what? Since we're early tonight. I'm gonna show. When I talk about getting the band back together, I'm gonna just play 30 seconds of this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But guys, this is Huntsville. You'll see Joe there on the guitar, and you'll see me on the saxophone. But here's a 30-second preview, and we're gonna get the band back together. Here we go. Hit the right button here. Guys, that's just a preview. We're getting the band back together, man. And you know, hey, we've got, what was the famous saying in here? We got a full tank of gas. I don't remember how it went. We got a full tank of gas. We got money in our pocket, you know. And if you don't know what I'm talking to, just check out the Blues Brothers and watch that movie. It was hilarious. But and we did, hey, the year before we did Bad to the Bone. Now, Joe had not joined the group yet when we did Bad to the Bone, and it was pretty bad, let me tell you. Last year, it was much better. All right, so...
Yeah, that was definitely Don in the green shirt. And
yeah. And Chris?
We had
that was Chris
Richard
on the harmonica
from MFJ, and we had Emmett from Radio Waves.
And Chris played the harmonica. I think it was Chris.
That's right, Chris.
Yeah. All right, so Joe, I'm going to go ahead and hang up with you. I'm going to open up Hangout. It's a little early. I'm not going to stay on very late tonight, but I'm open to Hangout, and the show will continue. This is going to be the informal part of the show, guys. This is where we basically have a very informal part of the show. We talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about, and who knows what. So, Joe, 73, talk to you later. You can join us on Hangout if you want to. All right. All right, it'll just take me a second to get Hangout up here. All right, did somebody put a link in there for Hangout? Okay, there you guys are ahead of me. Very good. Okay, let me join up here.
With my sister, like I left it with my sister when I went to Hamvention,
right?
And there were a couple of issues and whatever that my sister relayed to me when I came home.
That's a shame.
Yeah, well, she's getting up there with Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that.
At 90, in the 90s, that's, you know, my mother had it in the 80s.
Yeah, well, you know, I go and I try to, I had to go out and buy door alarms because there was an issue.
All right, hey guys,
there
you're
was
on
an issue
Hangout. You're on Hangout right
ago.
now. Hey, I put the phone number. Up there. If somebody doesn't want to come on camera, and you'd like to just join us by telephone, the phone number is up there, 901-286-1116. Call that number, and we'll just patch you on the show with everybody else.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, Douglas. Hey, Tom.
Hey guys. All right.
Yeah, it's a Bill. I appreciate the mother, and it's a shame. I went through all that Alzheimer's with my mother, and you do the best you can, but they don't sacrifice things in your life for that.
No, well, I
as long as she's okay.
I've said to my siblings that I'm going to keep her in the house as long as I can take care of her. I mean, you know, with the door alarms and stuff like that. I sleep upstairs. I think tonight I'll sleep on the couch just in case.
But at 94, that's amazing. If you're taking care of her like that, I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she's pretty good. I mean, you know, she more or less comes in and sits on the couch, and if I'm not up, she just kind of leans back and falls asleep. And I mean, I get her meals, and I get her clothes and whatever. I mean, you know, occasionally she needs assistance moving around, but other than that, she's fine.
All right,
a lot of us have been through that. Tom, go ahead and take over.
Let's see who else we got in here real quick. There's who's that? That's Pat. Is it Pat? Yeah. Hey Pat, how you doing, Pat? You got a mic, Pat? I'm not hearing you, Pat. Is your mic muted?
You need to turn your mic on, Pat.
Yeah.
There we go. Now you should be able to hear me. Thank you.
There
First
you go.
time in the
N3 GWZ.
I've had many issues with microphones, so trust me, it's a challenge. I had the same challenge tonight.
So Pat, are you new? I know you're new in Hangout here. I don't think I've seen you in Hangout before.
That's correct. Yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot tonight. I don't have to work tomorrow. Federal employee, got the day off.
Cool.
Oh, you lucky rascal, you.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So I take it you've watched the show before. This is just your first time in Hangout?
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
I started watching the show after Hamvention.
Okay, cool.
I joined the online chat and got hooked on Hambot and really enjoyed seeing Hamvention, and never had been before. So figured I'd start joining the weekly roundtable every week.
Well, great. Well, we talk about everything on here from colonoscopies to just everything. We used to have a Dr. Ham on here with us, but he was giving so much free advice out. I think he quit being on here with us. So anyway,
he has to get up early to go to the hospital there, Tom.
Yeah, he changed jobs. He's at the VA now. But us aging hams, we require a lot of medical attention nowadays. I've got a lot of stuff up on the screen here. Let me see if I can adjust this a little
doctors, they rise early. And they rise early, and if you didn't used to rise early when you get to the hospital, you'll be rising early.
Yeah, speaking of the cigar smoking doc, where's the cigar smoking Bill been?
Yeah, where's Bill? The other Bill, the cigar smoker.
Where is Bill?
I haven't seen him on here in a while. Yeah, I saw him at Dayton.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He's
we
in
have
the
another Bill over in the corner there, hiding next to Douglas.
He's in the chat room, NE4RD, but I don't know if he's actually here or not. It's showing he's in the chat room.
NE4RD, nerd.
Yeah, okay, let's see. We got Teresa down here. We got, let's see. We got Mark. Let's see. We got Mark there. Who's John? Let's see. We got John here. Who is this? Is that Doug? Who is it? Who is John?
Which John?
Hey, John.
Hey, John?
What's your call, John?
KE6K.
Oh. I think you said KG6K.
KE6K, Kilo 6.
Kilo Echo 6 Kilo.
KE6.
Kilo Echo 6.
KE6K. Okay, well, welcome. Glad to have you in here, man.
Thanks.
And let's see. Oh, we got Bill and we got Bill. Well, you know, with
Get over. Don't forget Hooper. He's in there.
Yeah, the Uper.
Mike's in here.
I'm
Mike's
here.
in here.
Hey, you know this? We've had all week 90, 95 degree temperatures, almost like yours, Tom.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, we're just sharing in a little bit with you there. So
I can ship it back to you. I'll take my snow.
Don't ship it back. If you start pushing that heat further south, I'm gonna get higher than the 103 and 104 that I've been the last.
I am built for winter cold, not for heat.
Well,
these are the 3 weeks of the year I enjoy being in the mountains.
Yeah. Now, Bill, where are you? I forget. Where are you?
Burnsville, North Carolina.
You be good.
Okay, North Carolina. I'm gonna be over in North Carolina in a couple weeks. We're going to our home over in western North Carolina. So I think it's still hot over there, but it's a little cooler in the mountains.
Sorry. I'm in my down at my shore house in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Are you?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a different back. You don't have the flex there.
Huh? No, well, I have the Maestro. I could bring that out, and I could certainly we could try to work each other. But
that's right.
Yeah, I'm just sitting out on the front deck and just enjoying the.
Hey, hey, that made me think of something, man. You know, with our arrangements and me being in your wheel for the flex, does that include the Maestro? We've never really clarified that.
Oh yeah,
you can sit around the front porch and the mosquitoes aren't eating you alive out there.
There are no mosquitoes out here right now.
Oh my goodness!
Wonderful thing. I think they're just Jersey. I think they got fried today with the 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the sheep we've been having, I don't know why we have any around that.
Hey Tom, just so you know, yeah, the Maestro's in the will. Don't worry.
Okay,
about
very good. I just and make sure as long as you're kicking, Jeff, as long as you're kicking, make sure you do updates and upgrades on that flex system too. You know, okay, just keep
it's all been updated. There was a new software version came out. Software firmware version came out last week. It's all upgraded, of course, and. It all works well.
Well, very good. Well, Kathy bought me a 7610, so I set that next to my 7300 over there.
She bought a She bought you a 7610. She got your 991.
Well, no, I won the 991A at Huntsville. I was lucky, and then I did buy. She bought me a 7300, but you know,
you won a 991,
huh? What?
You won the 991. That's
that was
nice.
the big prize at Huntsville. I think 2 years ago. I got the 991A. I've been at kind of a Kenwood shop. I've got a TS2000 over there and a TS570, but I thought I'd try that 7300.
He's got a lot of toys there in that shack.
Yeah. Oh,
I can see my wife buy me something like that. She says, "You sell something, then you buy something."
Well, you know,
boys and
see, Jeff understands this, man. When you die, you can't take it with you, so you might as well give it to somebody like Tom. You know. You know.
Well, you know what they say. My greatest fear is my wife will sell the stuff after I die, and she'll ask for the same price I told her I bought it for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's actually very funny.
Yeah.
My wife knows better. My wife
I made a mistake.
My wife knows exactly what the stuff was.
I stapled the receipt for the radio to the manual for the radio, so they at least know how much I paid for it.
Well,
I have a few friends lined up, the ham friends that, very good friends that will. I mean, if I drop dead, they'll take care of making sure my wife, gets decent value for the.
And those of us that hang out are real good friends of yours, Jeff.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
You mean we're good friends of yours? We're in hangout here with you.
Okay. Well,
we're not on the list.
Guys, quit trying to cut in because already I'm in the wheel and We're not going to
Yeah, but
change
that's
it.
only for one flex. He's got more than
No,
one.
I get the whole system. I get the Maestro, the Flex, the antennas, anything that hooks to it. I get the antennas, the power supply, the computer.
Almost the whole,
I get
almost the
everything,
whole
man.
shack.
Yeah, I
Oh
get the
my
works.
God.
Why is no one calling in on the phone? 901-286-1116. Come on, guys. Somebody join us. Let's get this thing going and get it exciting here, man. You know, let's stir it up a little bit, you know.
Sure, let's talk about politics and religion.
Nah, we better not do that on here.
Don't do that.
We better not do that on here.
No politics.
No religion.
That'd be the end of this show, you know, so.
Yeah, certainly would be.
That's what people ask me. What do you guys talk about on ham radio? I said, we talk about anything but politics and religion.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. 286-1116, 901.
I don't know how that happened.
Nobody's calling. Oh, no, nobody's calling. I'm surprised.
Apparently, we've scared them all away.
What happened to Walter tonight, Tom?
Walter actually has to work a couple weeks every month to fly the big body jets.
Oh, he actually has to work sometimes. Okay.
Yeah. I think he might be on standby for a week or something. I don't know, but he works 2 weeks and he's off 2 weeks. But you know, I don't see why. You know, what the big deal is? You go sit down at A300 and you get behind that steering wheel and you hit the start button and you give it gas. The sucker takes off in the air. It basically flies itself, man. I think it'll land itself.
Yeah, like just like this. Look, see, this guy flies himself.
Yeah. And you know what? It'll land itself. So what do they need a pilot for, man?
Managing systems.
Yeah.
They got a good use.
Yeah.
I must tell you, Tom, I was very impressed meeting Walter at Hamvention. Very nice guy.
Walter's a nice guy and very detailed. I guess to be a pilot like that, you need to be. And I noticed, you know, talking with him, he knows a little bit. You know, you show him a book or a manual or how this works, and he'll remember it.
Well, yeah, you got to be a pretty smart guy to fly those big jumbo jets. So.
I don't know. They fly themselves, man. You know?
So.
Hey,
Let's go to
hey,
Pat.
wait a minute. Let me tell you something. I even got to sit.
Pat here for a second.
I even got to.
Where are you located?
Who's that?
I'm out here in Eldersburg, Maryland, about a half hour west of Baltimore. It's been hot, and we got some storms coming in right now, but I'm mainly an FT8 operator here lately. I've just loved FT8 and got 2 rigs here running FT8 at the same time lately, so just cool. Enjoying it.
My brother lives in Tacoma Park, Maryland, W3TDH.
Yep, familiar with it? Yep.
Well,
I would love to get my hands on it.
I think if you're running low power FT8 and you're running 2 rigs at the same time, you're probably safe. I don't know if you saw the show last week or the week before. I destroyed my TS570, the one I'm using for remote base that I built up here, and actually I had an antenna hooked to it, and I was running. I called our Roundtable net before the show, hour and a half running a kilowatt. And the 2 antennas out there, were about 10 feet apart. So it had quite a bit of signal coming back down, to say the least, and it actually burned a hole. It burned a hole through the circuit board in that radio, but I was able to repair it, get it back on, and I'm going to continue using it for the remote base, I think.
Yeah, it can get dangerous. I'm using a 124.5 foot long wire deployed nearly vertical with a drone into a tree, and about another 200 feet away have a G5 RV in the trees. 100 watt maximum here. So
I think 100 watts. I think with 100 watts you'd probably be okay with the antennas that close. But a kilowatt, no. I did a little experiment. I put a light bulb on the end of the coax here last week, and I keyed the amplifier up, and it lit the light bulb. It lit the light bulb up here in the shack, you know, on the other antenna.
Did it blow it up?
No, I didn't blow it up, but you know it. Can someone do what? What was that?
What was that? Yeah, but wait a minute. Those light bulbs, Okay, that's what I learned as a novice. I mean, how to tune the circuit for my great TR4. I mean, you maximum smoke, and you back it off a little bit, and that's about it.
Well, yeah, back in
No,
the
of course.
'60s when we first got our license back in the '60s, a 100-watt light bulb was your dummy load, and a lot of people would tune up into that and then switch the antenna. We didn't have SWR meters back then, so hey, make the bulb the brightest and flip the antenna over there, and guess what? We talk to people. Oh man, I haven't been watching the phone lines. We've got so many calls coming in right now. It's ridiculous.
You got calls coming in?
Oh
Tom?
yeah. I had a whole bunch of them lined up over there. Who's on the phone right now?
Hi, Tom.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, who's on the phone?
Hi, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Yes.
How you doing?
Doing good. Who's that?
John, I belong to you up in Washington State. W7JXC.
Okay. Hey, John, you need to turn down the audio on the show, on the video player.
Yeah, I will. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, shut that audio down and talk on the phone only.
How you doing? Just a minute. John, hold it. Hold it. I'm getting it.
We'll take John. Take your time, but hurry up.
You've got a good show going tonight.
Well, we hope we have a good show every night. I mean, it just kind of falls together. We didn't have a whole lot planned for tonight. There are other nights that we have, very special guests that come in and talk about some interesting things. But I think
to call and say hi to the group and say hi to Pat, because I see you, Pat.
Okay, John. Do you know Pat?
I see all you guys.
Yeah,
that's why I said I wanted to say hi from Washington State.
John, do you know Pat?
No, personally I don't.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to greet him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good to meet you.
All right.
Yeah, I heard that.
All right. Well, hey, John, I got more calls coming in. Thanks for calling in. Let me grab another call here real quick.
You bet. Have a good one, Tom. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Pat, how long have you been licensed?
November of 1988. I was 14 years old, so 29 years.
All right, let's see. Who's on the phone?
These days.
Who's on the phone?
Yeah, it's Bill Peachman.
Bill. Hey, Bill. How you doing, man?
Okay, how are you?
Doing good. Where are you located, Bill?
Hey, we're just a little bit south of Columbus in Circleville, Ohio.
Okay, Ohio. Okay, very good. Well, did you watch much of the show tonight?
I watched all of it, of course.
What do you think about the guy that had the arrow in his face?
Well, being a registered nurse and a former EMT, all I can say is I think his sinus problems are solved.
His sinuses are solved? Is that what you said?
His sinus problems are solved.
Yeah.
Sinus.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's the way to drain them, isn't it?
Sinus problems would be the least of his concerns at that point.
Okay.
Everybody buy a drone or one of those air launcher things there, and get rid of the fishing rods, get rid of the arrows, get rid of the box wrenches there with twine, and do something.
I tell you guys,
I'm going to set up a weather balloon.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you my experience with a balloon. Back in the 60s, I had a friend that was in Army Mars, and they would always get the stuff. And we got a hold of some Gibson Girl transmitters. And with the Gibson Girl transmitter, it was a little transmitter that went between your legs in a raft, and you turn the crank, and it would send out SOSs. But it had a little door. It had a little door that opened up on it, and it had a reel of wire for the antenna. Now, you're in a lifeboat, right? So there's two ways to put it up. One was a box kite you put together, and you fly the antenna with a box kite. Or the other was a hydrogen-filled balloon. Hydrogen-filled balloon, and you're talking about balloons. And we had several of those hydrogen canisters and those balloons, and we were trying to put an antenna up with one of them one time. And the way those canisters work, you screw a pipe on the top of it, and it goes into the balloon. And you put that canister down in water, and it starts bubbling, and a chemical reaction sets off, and it generates hydrogen. And it fills the balloon up. So anyway, we had, I think we had a tool bag weighting down the balloon, and we had some big cottonwood trees, maybe 100 feet tall. And he was going to use that to put an antenna over the tree back then. This was like the 60s. We didn't have a lot of other options. And some kids untied it from I think it was tied to the car bumper or something, and the tool bag left us. Now, I don't know, we don't know where it went. I was in high school, and we sent out a balloon one day. We went out and filled it up with hydrogen, and we sent it out, and it had a little bottle on the bottom, and I had a postcard in it, and it had a 2-cent postcard in it, man. Now, and it said, if you find this, send it back to us. I never, ever got it back. Somebody might find the thing today, but what's a postage card cost today, man? 40 cents?
Well, it's 50 cents to mail a letter.
Gee.
They'll send it to you and you'll have postage due.
Yeah,
really.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess I will. But, I'm thinking another thing. Hey, that's a 2-cent stamp that hadn't been used. It should have, what do you call it? It should have,
expired?
No, it should have collected interest. So the 2% stamp should be worth a lot more than that today.
Yeah, it'll worth about 4 cents.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that, man. But that's my experience with the balloon. Both of them weren't good. All right. So, Bill, up in Ohio, what else is going on? What's going on up in your world?
From I'm getting a lot of.
You're a little garbled, Bill.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback here. Very crazy. Well, have a good one. All right.
Oh, there's a lot of noise going on here.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I think I want to say goodnight, but I appreciate your show, and you do a great job. And
thank you.
We always enjoy it. So.
But hey, hey guys, don't let Jeff fool you. He's the big boss where he works, and he says he has to get up early in the morning. That ain't true.
No, not tomorrow morning.
Not tomorrow
He's on
morning?
vacation.
Oh, that's right. Well, you don't need to go.
All right, I'll stay.
That's right. That's right, man.
Tom, I'll take this opportunity to check out myself. I do have to go tend to some details in the house. Sorry we didn't have any QSO on 40. The conditions were really bad.
Oh, man, let me tell you, it was, I think I heard you. I mean, I know I did. But that's about all. I mean, you just, out of 4 or 5 calls at a time, you can kind of make out the call, and that was about it. Boy, the static was so bad.
Yeah,
hey, Tom.
I got my amp on the bench. I'm going to finish up putting the new tube in it. We'll try again next week.
Okay, cool.
Hey, you still in the bathroom?
So I didn't know you guys were doing, I guess it's on the Facebook page that
Yeah.
I'll look at. I'm not a Facebook guy.
Yeah, we've got a net. Right now, I've got it on 40 meters from 5 Central Time, 5:30 to 7. After 7, I need to start getting ready for the show. So I had someone who was going to call the net, and he kind of had a conflict, I think, with his wife. He was calling too many nets, so he's trying to negotiate. He's trying to negotiate that right now. So right now, I'm calling the net. So I'd love to have volunteers to help call a net, and also it'd be cool if we can do it on different bands, like 20, 40, and 80.
Yeah, I'd like to see it on 80. I think we could talk on 80 at this point.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Well, 5:30. Well, let's see. 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Maybe. I mean, when it shifts over in the fall and it's dark as blazes out there at 4 o'clock. Yeah, you could probably do it.
And 20 might even be a better band at a time. I have no idea, but
I think we could do 80 meters right now.
Well, I'm sure we could.
Well, yeah, you could. But this is dark 30.
It just, I didn't want to have the net after the show because, it's usually 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time, and
Oh yeah, you're cutting into his peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's getting late, you know.
Cutting into my sleep time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's still daylight here in Arizona, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. And hey, it'd be cool if I can get like a net control station kind of out to the west, and then of course Memphis is kind of central, and get somebody on the East Coast, because I did have someone check in from California the other, I think last week on 40 toward the end of the net, but that was a long haul. But the band's been terrible.
Speaking of California, Tom,
Yeah.
just curious, is there any chance of you getting John Amadeo or Tim Allen to come on and say hello to the people?
Well, you know, for those that hadn't followed us very long, we took our webcast out to Hollywood, and I webcasted out there from the stage, and I met Tim Allen, and we broke the news on our show that Tim Allen had got his license. But let me tell you, I found out what Tim would charge to make an appearance or something. Tim's going rate is $100,000 for the appearance. Pay for a private plane, pay for transportation and meals for him and his wife. So that's kind of what we're up against.
Like on the air, like just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I doubt. You know, let me tell you. I can guarantee you, it's been 2 years. I can just about guarantee you, Tim probably has not made a single contact. He would be overwhelmed if he got on a repeater out in California or got on the air. I mean, and let me tell you, even John Amadeo, my producer friend, he's trying to play low key now. He checked into our net here. I just announced on our Facebook group one afternoon, we were on 40, and John joined us. And I said, hey guys, welcome. You know, John, and John had changed his call letters, and he was trying to kind of go incognito, and I kind of blew his cover. So, you know, he's trying to play it kind of low key. So I don't know, you know.
That's like Gordy West, WB 608.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Let's say, hey, here's a picture right there. There's Tim and me when I met him a couple years ago, and I had Mandy. I got a picture of Mandy on here. I talked to Mandy, and you know, Tim's never operated. He won't be operating any.
We got to ask questions.
Yeah. But you know, I had I did have John Amadeo on the show here. Brought him in remotely a couple times, and I don't know. I just think John doesn't want the publicity anymore.
Time is of the essence.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, I am going to call on it because I even though it's support tomorrow, I do got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
You're calling it time.
Well, I'm gonna switch real
You're not
quick.
working, are you, Mike?
It is getting late and dark up there. I switched over to our New York studio right here, and
there you go.
And it is dark up there. It looks late. You still got a little traffic out there on the bridge. What bridge is that, Bill? Is that the Washington or Lincoln or something, or?
Mackinac.
Oh, you're talking to him, yeah. Oh, the Mackinac Bridge.
Mackinac.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it is. Heck.
Gallic de Gurney, isn't it? Gallic de Gurney.
Yeah, and the longest suspension bridge, 5 miles long.
Yeah, and
Now, what's the bridge up there? I remember being on it 40-something years ago. What's the bridge up there? Traffic go on top. It's like double layer. Which bridge is that?
Yeah, they've got one in New York like that, and in L.A. they've got one.
Yeah, see, I'm talking New York. You know, traffic I think goes one way or something underneath the bottom, and on top it goes the other.
That one down Cincinnati, 75 and 71 has that going across Ohio.
That's the Verisanos you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember that. You know, hey, I was like, first time I went up here, I had an uncle, it was a ham that lived in New Jersey in Brick Township. Jeff, you know where Brick Township is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, they lived there. In fact, my aunt still lives there. Anyway, we went up to visit, and we went over to see all the sights, and we're standing out there looking at the Empire State Building, and all that stuff. And there was like 6 of us or 7 of us in a taxi. It was against the law to carry. We were one too many, and I was a little bitty guy, and they put me in the back seat and told me to just keep my head down in the floorboard there, and as long as I didn't lift up, as long as I stayed hid down there, he took us.
That's actually very funny.
Yeah, that's a true story, man. And you know what? My cousin.
That's what happens when you're a stick figure. I mean, you learn.
Hey, my cousin, my aunt's son that lives up there. He was with us, and he's standing there looking at the Empire State Building, and we all walk away and leave him. He's so amazed at the Empire State Building, and he lives up there. I guess it's kind of like me down here with Elvis Presley's house. There's not much to really see, But he almost got left here because he was so, stuck on looking at the building here.
He got stuck. He was stuck there.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm calling tonight. Everybody have a good 4th of July. Behave yourselves and have a safe 4th.
Hey, I was going to say.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Bill. I was going to say, boy, I think I hear a storm coming up out there, but that's not a storm. It's It's fireworks.
Time is of the essence.
It's fireworks out there. There's some big ones going off, man. They're dropping them in close, actually.
Yeah, my dog's getting upset here too because the fireworks going off down here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh man, one just hit the studio here. Oh gee.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like fireworks.
There you go.
That looks like a big RF spark.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. That sounded real good today on the Alaskan morning that there was piled up there. I don't know how many hams you could pile up in a pile up.
Well, I'm thinking about going get me a snack.
Peanut butter sandwich.
Well, maybe a bucket of popcorn. I don't know. Something like that.
Maybe you got one of those frozen hamburger patties there from Walmart in the freezer.
No, don't have any of that. Man, I hadn't had a hamburger in a long time, man. I've moved I moved to chicken breast, man. The white meat kind of stuff, And hey, look.
He's a white man now.
I'm a breast and thigh man myself.
You're impressed with what?
A breast and thigh man.
Yeah. I mean, look at this, guys. Look, that's what it's doing, man. Look at that.
Yeah, well, we saw what you were eating at Hamvention, so we were there early before they even opened the doors. So.
Well, I tell you, I did have a hamburger there, but I gobbled it down really fast. I had like 3 minutes to eat it.
Yeah, called inhaling.
How'd that corn dog work out?
That corn dog really smelled and looked good, but man, it wasn't that good, man.
Did you rip it apart?
That $5 corn dog wasn't that great. I think I ended up throwing half of it away.
Oh,
she got one of them pork chops, those thick pork chops that they got out there. Was just like unreal.
Yeah, those pork chops, they did look good.
Well, they had some good
bowl or whatever they had.
They had good food up there. They had good food up there.
I want to invite Pat to come to Hamvention in May next year, so he can experience 30,000 people just milling about and acting crazy. He's got to see from his own perspective. You go to Timonium or something like that. This is small beer,
Yeah. I need to make it. I've been in this game for 30 years. Never went to Hamvention, and it's not that far of a drive for me. I could make it there easily. Just need to commit and just do it.
Yeah.
So you can take
you'll never have the experience of heroin.
Well, I got to tell you, my friend, I've been going, I think this was my 8th time, and my friend had told me for years before that, I said, you got to try it. And once I did, I go every year.
That's I
Sure,
think.
you have experienced Hair Arena.
Well, this year was my 38th year, consecutive year, and I don't know, man.
I haven't been to Dayton since middle '80s, I guess.
You know, in the middle '80s, I don't remember the date they changed it from April to May. That helped a little bit on the weather. Well, it was probably
I think it was either 82 or 83.
Yeah, it was in the 80s, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I bet it was if we asked Google, Google would know.
Well, Bill knows. Just Google Bill there. Bill's already told us.
Or a Wayback Machine would know.
Yeah.
There you go. No, last time I went to Dayton, I ended up extending my stay because I got food poisoning. So.
Oh no, well,
that's not good.
Yeah, if it was a hair, I can understand why. You probably got a hot dog out of one of the stands inside. Oh, gee.
Probably ate that corn dog you had.
Exactly.
That corn dog tasted really good compared to that stuff I used to get there at Hera.
It all tastes good going.
Oh yeah, that stuff they had at Hera was.
Yeah.
Oh, the food at Hera was that was a harrowing experience.
Well, you know, you at Hera,
harrowing experience.
Hey, at Hera, you could go outside. You could go outside where they were grilling burgers and stuff, and that was fairly decent out there. But if you bought something from those little vendor food things inside, I think the hamburgers were all pre-cooked and the hot dogs, I don't know, they were terrible. And
if you really have good memories of Hera, go to YouTube and look at the Hararena videos that are there now. They've got some what do they call that? These urban, what do you call it? Where you go into buildings that are like defunct, and you can see some of the
urban explored.
Some of the grandstand has fallen down into where we were walking around below it.
You know, a couple years, 3 or 4 years ago, inside Hera, inside the building, a vendor had to put a tent up. He had to put a tent up inside to keep dry.
Really?
Yeah.
But these bleachers, Tom, I don't know if you saw this, but do this if you're interested. Go and Google Hararena.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Guys, you've seen it?
Yeah.
And the bleachers have fallen right down through, like right where we would be buying food or walking through.
Oh yeah.
Very scary. I mean, that could have happened while we were there.
Yeah, well,
true.
You know.
Well, here's the thing. After a building goes vacant, it starts decaying itself.
I guess at a more exponential rate than it would if it was opened. I guess you're right about that.
Oh yeah, they don't take long. They get on a roll, and we had a barn. We built a new one. We didn't use the old one. We were going to take it down anyways, but it started itself.
Well, the fact that the bleachers, a whole section of bleachers, that around the arena, just dropped right down. It scared me because we were walking right under that 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, but that's scary.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna call it quits, guys.
All right.
Tom, thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
7-3, guys.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Sign off too. Thanks for letting me in.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yep.
Well,
there's the time. It's all the time.
I got about 10
time.
10 minutes to 11 here. Getting hungry.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to Huntsville up in about 8 weeks. It's going to be a great show down here. We'll be probably in about a month. We'll be getting together all the prizes for Huntsville, and we're really gonna fix our booth up in Huntsville. Teresa, we've always just had a table there against that wall. I think they're gonna give us they're gonna give us those 2 spaces in there, and we're gonna put curtains up just like we did at Dayton or wherever. The background and the side curtains. So we'll have an enclosed we'll have an enclosed booth there, and it'll look real good. And
Well, I'll tell
it'll
you,
be the same spot. It'll be the
this year
same
at
spot up
Hampton.
by the stage right there too.
All the time.
You had a great spot there this time here at Hamvention there, Tom. That extra space
Yeah,
there.
it worked out. It worked out good.
Definitely.
See that little zigzag space we had, that other space wasn't really big enough to sell anybody as a space. So we were able to just take all that in, and it worked out really well for us. You know, if you remember last year, when we got cramped in that one little 10-foot square spot, boy, with the astronaut there and all the visitors and boxes and food, and we were tripping over each other. But this year we were able to expand, and it was great this year. I think we'll set up exactly the same next year.
Well, I hope they give you the space next year.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get the same space. And it's at a perfect location between two doors that come into that main building there, so it's good.
What the heck is that there, Mark?
It looks like
It's time.
looks like a clock out of a Thunderbird.
Yeah, a fan clock.
Oh, it's a fan clock. Okay, I've seen those. Yeah.
Hot live from Dayton.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, was this year at Dayton Live or last year?
Yeah, I remember that.
600. 6,000 can I got it in.
All right,
one
guys.
of those tent light fans.
Yeah, it was in the tent. The tent light fan. I think that's where they were.
My problem is it's blinding me on my big screen. Or, well, not big screen TV, but on the TV. It's just right in my eyes. Oh, Lord.
All right, I'm getting out of here. You guys are welcome to stay all night and talk with each other.
I have to go. I have to see what's going on out here in the other room.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I wish you all a pleasant good evening. Thank you for coming. And nice to meet you there, Pat. Hope you'll come back next week. I'm sure Katie will be back, and
Katie will be back
I
next week.
sent her a couple of digs because she wasn't here tonight.
Yeah. And in a few weeks, I'll be in North Carolina. I'll see. I think I got there's my video there in North Carolina. That's my portable operation there in North Carolina.
Hey, be careful about you don't get that hitch caught in your back, Tom.
Yeah. Oh man, I got. Oh, gee. Okay.
That can catch you and start dragging you right down the road.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good
It's a
night,
nice
dear.
house out in the mountains.
Good night, everybody. See you guys later. We'll talk to you later. Check internet next week, 5:30 on 40 meters. I'll post it on the Facebook group, but it's going to be on 7180 in that area. Help us spread the word. I didn't do any advertising for the show this week at all. I normally advertise it to like about 100 different ham radio Facebook groups with a total attendance of about 600,000 people. And I also posted on about 30 Google communities with a population of about 300,000. So, you know, it was down a little bit tonight, but we didn't advertise it anyway. So I think it's the diehard people that watch tonight.
Well, give my regards to Kathy there, Tom.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Mine as well. Good night, Tom.
Good night, Teresa.
Yeah, there's no problem using the word diehard because Sears ain't around anymore.
You say, what, Sears?
Yeah, they ain't around anymore, so we can use the word diehard and not have a problem.
I think they're still in Memphis.
Well, there may be a few around, but I know they're going.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you. Good night to everybody. Good night. Good night.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
There he is.
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.